Hey guys, welcome back to Community Cares. I'm Dave. I am the Executive Director here at Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet.
And I am Chaplain Chaz Blackburn. I have the honor of being on the board of directors with Dave. And we have a really super special guest. He is a Washoe County Sheriff Office chaplain and the lead chaplain there. He's also a part of the Great Basin Chaplain Corps. He pastors a church, and dare I say, he's a great friend. So we're honored to have you.
You can dare if you'd like. Yeah, glad to be here.
Well, we appreciate you being here.
Yep, thankful to be here representing Washoe County Sheriff's Office chaplaincy program.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So if this is your first time watching the Community Cares podcast, what we do on this show is we share interesting things that are going on in the community, and that's how we start it. And then from there, we go into a community resource in the area. And definitely what you're doing, Jim, is a huge community resource for the Reno Sparks community.
I think so.
So thank you so much for being here and representing that.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
So we're going to start off with just what the mission is of the podcast, why we're doing it, and who we are, and why do we do it, Chaz?
I'll defer to Jim on this one.
Because we care about the community.
Last I checked,
Amen.
This is not Jim's podcast.
This is not.
We're just having fun. No, we give away $70,000 worth of clothes every single month at thrift store prices to the community at no cost. So people come in. It doesn't matter if you're an immigrant or if you're someone who's just having a difficult time. We have seniors. We have those who are displaced and homeless. We just serve anybody and everybody and want to, clothe them not only with clothes, but hope and dignity and experience where they feel loved. So really an amazing mission. We've been around 25 years, and this podcast is really just to bring people together. So we're stronger united, and it's about hearing about the resources and fun events because there's a lot of good stuff that goes on in our community.
Yeah, and I've mentioned it before too. This really started with a conversation with Chaz and I. We were talking. We were doing videos for Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet and talking back and forth. And first off, I suckered him to be on my board.
Good job.
That was an honor, really.
Second, we were just talking about how us as nonprofits could actually work together better if we actually gave it the opportunity to work together rather than just deciding we can all just kind of be in our own little bubbles, right?
Yeah, sure. Networking.
Right, and build that even bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's the whole idea behind this podcast. So we're going to start with 3 community events that are happening in the community. But before we dive into those events, I do want to highlight another event that I did not put on the list. So one of our partners, Faith Academy, they're having a big event where they are collecting coats and blankets for Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. Yes. Their big Christmas carnival. So we're thrilled.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah. And you've seen Maddie on this podcast, you've seen Nick on this podcast. If you want to pie either of them in the face, this is a great opportunity.
Yes.
So I don't want to. I have an event that day. However, if you were up there, if we could pie you, I might rearrange my schedule.
Oh my goodness.
I too have an event and can't be there. My oldest son will be also getting a pie in the face, and
awesome.
I regret not giving 3 of my favorite people pies in the face.
I'm totally gonna get Caleb pie in the face.
Twice.
I will. For you.
Do one for me.
I will. One for me and then one for you.
That's right.
Well, joking aside, they're a great organization. It's a affordable private school, that really helps drive equality for all and offering that to every element of the community. And
sure.
I really respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely huge what they're doing in the community, and we're thrilled to be partnered with them at Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. One of the things that we definitely talk about is trying to help everyone in all walks of life, right?
Sure.
Not just people that are have more means, but people that also have less means, and then also anyone else in between, right? So how can we serve all walks of life? How can we make sure people that need help get the help they need, no matter where they are? I share the story sometimes at Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. There was this lady that walked in one time. She drove up in a Porsche.
Wow.
And she came and got a suit. That's all she got. And she started walking out, and then she looked at me and she started crying. And I said, are you okay? And you know, everything inside me was judging this woman. I'm going to be honest. I wasn't being nice in my heart. I'll be real with you guys. I was judging. I'm like, why are you drove up in a Porsche? What are you doing?
Chaplains are here for you.
I know. I got 2 chaplains right here. And then she just started crying, and she looked at me. She said, "Sir, thank you so much for the suit. I lost my house. I lost my husband. I've lost everything. And I'm on my way to an interview, and I wanted a new suit." And so, I don't know.
Wow, that's
put on the
powerful.
suit,
I've never heard that story.
and it was very impactful for me, like because we were able to just help people where they're at.
Right.
And we were able to just give that woman, we get lots of women's suits, and I'm going to be honest with you, not all of our clients want women's suits. So to be able to give that client that women's suit, and that's all she wanted, and to just have that feeling of, I have this hope, I have this dignity, and I'm able to just go and do that interview now. She was able to leave with confidence, leave with encouragement, more than just, okay, I'm just going to have to go with what I have. But she lost everything. But
Right.
it's so easy to judge people in that. To just, it's really easy. It's really easy for us
Is
as
it?
humans to judge people.
I don't deal with that too much. Just kidding.
Jesus,
We definitely all deal with that, I'm sure. even Big Jim.
I'm being honest over here, bearing my heart and soul.
We'll pray for you, brother.
Well, I think it really leads into our cheesy tagline that we love, but being the change that you want to see in the world. And you can't always fix every situation, but to show and spread some love and kindness and be a light in a dark world that's sometimes dark, that's what it's all about. We can all do that.
Absolutely. So yeah, no, and that's what it's about, is meeting people where they're at, for sure, being that change. And so with this event, if you come and you donate a coat or a blanket, it can be a children's, adult's coat, as long as it's clean and gently used. For Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet, we'll have a barrel there, and you just bring it, and then you get entered into the raffle if you have a donation, 1 donation per ticket, and you can win 2 Stanley Cups. And I looked online, and I think they're like $60 per Stanley Cup.
That's nice.
When is that event?
The event is on December 9th at Faith Academy, so 2301 Kings Row.
89503.
That,
503. That
So-
sounds like the Beverly Hills song. What is it?
I don't know.
It was an older one. You might know this. 895.
Wow, did you just call me old on the podcast?
No, I'm just saying it was like from
It's
that
audio.
era.
They don't know.
Is it time for commercial break?
No, 9536. I can't think of it. Darn it.
For those that are listening, because we have a lot of listeners,
Jim
Chaz is
is
red. Chaz is
Jim
red
is
right now.
more fit than me than I'll ever be, and he's quite a bit older, respectfully,
And taller. And I have more
and
hair.
taller, and
Do you-
more handsome, and
Do you even
kinder.
lift, bro? Do you even lift, bro? I mean, but Jim's beard, though, that's something to talk about right there, right? It's nice.
That's
and
awesome.
full.
Yeah.
I tried growing it out, and then I got a call from Andrea, who said the other senior advocate, our friend Marcy, said he's got to shave that thing. What's he doing? I literally said I tried to grow it out like my friend Jim, but it didn't happen. So-
Oh, man.
That sounds like beard discrimination.
Oh well. And so definitely come down to the event. And don't discriminate against beards. I don't think Santa Claus will be there, but and neither will Jim Hunter with
will
that
not.
big beard. But
I did hear Santa Claus might stop by our podcast sometime soon.
I'm working on that. We'll see. It's a maybe.
Maybe.
I did talk to him, and he was.
He's a busy guy. He's got a lot of things to get ready for Christmas.
He's a busy guy.
Indeed.
So we're definitely excited for the event. Thank you so much, Maddie and Nika and all of Faith Academy, for the invite, just allowing us to be there with you guys and support what you guys are doing. And so and on top of that, also support what we're doing with new coats and blankets and those kinds of things. Thank you so much. And we really need it right now. I mean, this is a huge number. This last Wednesday was one of our biggest days ever. We had 118 clients come in one day, which our average is 60 to 70, which is where we get that. That's why we say 600 at 20, right? Is that came because our old average was 600.
Sure.
And those numbers kept rising and rising and rising. And this last Wednesday, we had
Wow.
118 people
amazing.
show up. and that just needed help, and just needed
Sure.
support. So huge to be a part of, and we're so thankful for your support in the community. So thank you so much. And I forgot to mention this earlier. If you're listening on Facebook and you're like, oh, I'd rather listen to this in the car on a podcast or on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, we are there. You just type in Community Cares and it comes right up. Our listeners all listen afterwards, so it's huge to be a part of. Joyce Lambert says...
Oh, 90210, yes.
Oh. That's what it was?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know. The reference.
You aged yourself,
Yeah.
Chaz,
I did. Oh, man.
in trying to age me.
Oh, what goes around comes around, right?
Man,
Backfired.
I'm tired. We had a 5-hour stream last Tuesday for Giving Tuesday. We raised $850, which is praise
Thank you,
God.
guys.
It was a huge blessing from the community coming around and supporting us. That was awesome. $850 is great. And last year we didn't raise anything for Giving Tuesday. I think a couple $100, which was huge, which was a blessing.
Sure.
But definitely people coming around us. But that was I'm still exhausted from that stream.
Yeah, it was a really fun thing, though. I tuned in for a while. You did a great job.
I'm gonna be honest. I had no clue what I was doing. I had no clue, man. I had to figure it out. It was last minute.
That's your second confession tonight.
I know.
I got a lot more. 2 chaplains in the
Don't
room.
forget
I
it's
mean,
live. Yeah. So our first event...
Our first event that we want to highlight is the Tahoe Film Fest. Tahoe Film Fest is a welcome addition to the cultural atmosphere in one of the most spectacular places to visit, which is Tahoe. TahoeFilmFest.com is where you find the information. I believe it's a free event, but you can also find all the information there. On Saturday, December 9th at 2 p.m., they're going to have extrapolations, a Raven story, and extrapolations, a Whale Falls. On Sunday, December 10th, they're going to have at 2 p.m. extrapolations, the 5th question. At 3 p.m., they're going to have extrapolations. Lola, I don't know what those things are, but I do support local art, and I love seeing people coming around this. I know UC Davis does a lot with the Film Fest up in Tahoe, so I think that's pretty cool. And it's just a cool local event, and that will actually be at the Incline Theater up in Incline Village. So I
Nice.
think it's cool to be a
That's
part
really
of.
cool, yeah.
And you're supporting small local art, those kinds of things. So I think that's a fun.
So
thing to do.
Well Fall, is that like a waterfall where there's wells?
Whales?
Well Fall, yeah.
Well, probably not. I don't know.
So true
I have no
story.
clue.
I won't go all the way into it, but when I was a kid, I went on a whaling ship, a whaling tour boat, and almost died. So whenever we see whales and we go on vacation, my mom's like, "You want to go back on a whaling ship?" I'm like, no, never again. I was so scared. There was a storm, and when I got off the ship, I literally kissed the ground.
Oh.
So anytime I see a whale thing like that, I'm like, oh, they're
You're like-
beautiful from the distance.
Land lubber.
So I think that's a cool event. Definitely support local if you can. I think that's great that they do this. It's actually already started. We should have highlighted it last week, but it's definitely an event that you should go check out. And it's local, and it's art, and Tahoe's beautiful. There's a little bit of snow up there, not a lot yet. But a lot of the ski resorts, like we talked about last week, are open right now. So definitely check it out. Be a part of what's happening in the local community. Supporting you from sunny Florida. Thank you so much, Julie
Thank
North.
you, Julie.
And our second event is from December 1st to December 31st. Reno is known as a city that glows, and this winter, let's make it glow even brighter. Let It Glow Reno is
Let it glow. Let it glow.
Oh my goodness.
Don't hold it back anymore, Chaz.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh boy. So it's all the different from Midtown Reno downtown to Riverwalk District, Brewery District, Wells Avenue, all the kind of local downtown Reno area, all lights up as much as possible. And there's actually places you can you can actually vote on your favorite lights in town.
Ooh.
So it's an event. It's pretty cool.
Sounds fun.
You go to travelpineapple.com/letitglowreno. So, and all the things downtown all light up during this time. Great time to be able to walk around and
Sure.
see different local businesses, support local as much as possible. We always say, I mean, bundle up and go and be a part of the community, right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Chaz will be there singing solo.
We want people to actually show up, Jim. I was gonna say you got some really nice lights here. I really like the touch.
Oh, thank you.
It's
Thank
really
you.
nice.
Yeah. Well, that's a leftover from our Giving Tuesday stream. We had that. We had the tree. We had gifts on the table, and a lot of people got some great gifts from the raffle. So it was a blessing. So thank you.
Yeah. I was going to give a shout out to Hidden Valley. They have some great lights out there. And I already saw that the big one that wins the awards, I forget the gentleman's name who puts them up, but he's already got his setup up and it looks amazing.
So we have some set up at our house too. You should drive by.
Is it like a haunted house type thing?
No.
Wow.
Is that your expectation?
Good call.
I mean, it's fair expectation,
give you a hard
but
time.
it's
Star Wars?
reindeer, and then we have a
Oh,
Mickey Mouse and
okay.
lights on our roof. It was really, really windy this Saturday, and I decided
Yes.
I was going to go on the roof and put up lights.
So go around Good Shepherd's neighborhood because he lives somewhere over here and TP the house.
My
Let's get
my neighbors were staring at me. They were like, "This guy's gonna fall."
Is that a defense?
I'm going to
Yes.
contact some of my friends at Sparks PD.
Great.
And, let them know Dave's address.
Oh boy. Oh boy. So yeah, definitely go down, support a lot of the downtown local community. It's a lot of fun to be able to just go and see all the lights. There are a lot of businesses that get very festive this time of year. So please go down and then vote for your favorite businesses and definitely be a part of the festivities. There's a lot going on this December, this weekend even. If you have nothing else going on, I know we all have busy things going on, but yeah.
So is travelpineapple.com, is that the same company that does Pineapple Cab?
I have no clue.
Because that would be fun to take that little cab all bundled up and look at the lights. I might take Lily to do that.
That's a
cool.
good idea.
That would be fun.
That's a very good idea. I have no clue, but all I know is we find all these events, guys, on RenoTahoeTravel.com. It's a great website, and you can find out all sorts of things that are happening in the community.
Yes. I like that third one.
Yeah, the third one is one I love, and how many times do we mention Virginia City on this podcast? Almost all the time, because they're always doing something. They're just really good at events and making sure that people are going and being places, right? So the third event is happening between now until December 31st on the Comstock. Is about tradition. So Christmas on the Comstock, it's all about tradition, and you won't find a better place that brings history and warm Christmas vibes together for one magical experience than in Virginia City. So visit Virginia City. NV.com is the place to go to find out more information. But they do a lot of lights up there. They do all sorts of different events. They have a Polar Express kind of thing that the train, they make it Polar Express, fun with the kids. But there's also a lot of free stuff. You can just walk around. And
It's beautiful.
it's beautiful, absolutely. And they just do it up all Christmas. So
I don't think Chaz will be there singing.
So everybody's going to show up there.
That's right. That's right.
But I like how this week most of the events were free. So
Yeah. Another free event I want to give a shout out because I know that during the holidays can be a really difficult time for grieving. We do have our at Circle Life Community Hospice. It's open to the entire community for anybody who's lost a loved one from 1 to 3 and then 5 to 7. There will be some lunch, some dinner. And we're doing an angel tree gathering where we do some ornaments to honor our loved ones. And then we also light some candles and just share a favorite memory. Really a beautiful time. So please, if you're having a difficult time and want to honor your loved one, please show up. You can learn more at colhospice.com. And it's a great community for any kind of loss. So.
yeah, I really appreciate you guys doing things like that. And I think that's so cool. Just like the Believe event, how we're honoring loved ones that have passed away and honoring their memory and really just helping process through grieving, right?
Yeah, it's definitely another stigma that we got to break. We got to talk about it. So
Absolutely. Well, with two chaplains here, I mean, we're going to have some deep
let's
conversation.
talk about another stigma, the Washoe County Sheriff Office. No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
an amazing resource, actually.
Absolutely. A great resource, and we're so thankful to have you here. Thank you for being here.
Glad to be here.
As a community resource, Washoe County Sheriff's Office does so much, but furthermore, as a chaplain, you do a lot in the community to serve those who have gone through some crazy times, and you
Yeah.
you serve them, you help them. So why don't you share with us what's the community resource this week, and some big highlights on why it's important in the community.
Sure. So Washoe County Sheriff's Office, it has a peer support team. There are 50 members on that. Chaplains are attached to the peer support team. That peer support team is run by Lieutenant Andy O'Brien. Hope she's listening right now.
Love her.
We currently have 6 chaplains. One is inactive because he is out of the country helping rescue children from human trafficking. We have 2 female chaplains and 3 male chaplains, and we stay pretty busy as Washoe County Sheriff's Office is nearing 1,000 employees, civilian and commission combined.
Wow.
So we definitely need more chaplains. Shameless plug for that. And you mentioned some traumatic events or things like that. In our lifetime, you and I might see 1 to 3 traumatic events. A person in law enforcement or a first responder in a full career will see 180 traumatic events. And so the peer support team and the chaplains work together to provide spiritual, emotional, and mental health resources to our law enforcement, specifically at the Washoe County Sheriff's Office. And we work with our civilian employees as well.
That's huge, and it's a huge service because not only are you serving those officers, you're also serving those people that those officers serve, right?
Yes.
Because you're helping them process and have support around them.
Sure.
Well, I always plug that because it's so true. For any of our first responder organizations, one of the best investments we can do as a community is to invest in their mental health, their spiritual health, their well-being, because they touch the community every single day. And so if you want them to be the best selves when they're serving you, we got to take care of them and their families.
It's important.
Yeah. We talk about at the Sheriff's Office often how when you go through the academy, you're trained on how to use a gun, how to use a taser, how to use pepper spray, how to drive a car, defensive driving, how to stay safe, how to handcuff somebody. But historically, law enforcement hasn't taught each other how to take care of their mental health. It's been more of a suck it up, buttercup mentality.
Right.
Go to your next call, go to the next scene. And what happens is, as you accumulate those complex traumas, your brain literally can't handle it and it becomes injured. And so we're trying to talk about post-traumatic stress injury versus post-traumatic stress disorder. Because just like a broken leg can be healed, a broken brain can be healed as well. And mental health, chaplains, peer support members are a huge part of that.
Absolutely. Yeah, Julie, thank you for commenting. It is a great thing, and definitely grieving towards the holidays. Definitely sending love your way. Sorry, that's hard. It definitely is no joke for sure. We all have loved ones for sure that we're grieving during this time. But additionally, I know a lot of these loved ones in our lives would also want us to take steps to move through the grieving process, and then also have fun in the holidays and be with the family and friends that are currently in our lives, right?
Yeah, and grieving is not just losing a loved one. It can be any kind of loss. Losing a relationship, losing the
Pet.
Yeah, animals. Sometimes they're more of a loss in a different way because they give you just all of their love, non-conditional, unconditional. I'm losing it here. But what I was going to say is that with grieving, I wanted to say for our first responders, they grieve loss of normalcy, of normal life, and they miss out on so much with their families that there's a lot of grief there. So they need that support.
Yeah, and I would say to anyone listening, if you see a first responder this holiday season, maybe go out of your way to be extra nice to them, because typically holidays are a challenging time for first responders, whether it's working overtime, working on the actual holiday itself. And sadly, some people have chosen to complete suicide during the holidays. And so there are anniversaries of that first responders have to deal with, losing partners, losing coworkers. And it's just a really great time to be nice to a first responder.
Another stigma we got to break, suicide, and talking about it. So
Absolutely.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's huge. Why don't you tell us a little bit about maybe your background, why you got involved with the Washoe County Sheriff's Office?
So in college, I wanted to be an FBI agent, but the Lord called me into ministry, and I was a youth pastor for 25 years. And then about 9 years ago, moved out here to be a pastor. And one of my pastor friends named Mark Morton, maybe he's listening, is a retired RPD officer. I think he was a sergeant when he retired about 15 years ago. And one day he said, you know what, you'd make a good law enforcement chaplain. And I just kind of laughed. It's like, I'm not military, I'm not law enforcement. And about a year goes by and he said it again. And I was like, okay, I see what you're doing here. And so got involved during COVID with RPD. We weren't able to do a whole lot. Yeah. And then through some connections there, got involved with the sheriff's office 3 years ago and have been there ever since.
That's great. Yeah, and what you're doing is definitely a service for the community. And so if you wanted to share just one thing with our community, we have a pretty good following right now of listeners. What would you share with them, and why is it so important what you're doing? So what makes what you're doing so important?
Yeah, so again, as one of you guys already said, the first responders touch our community in a positive way most of the time. Sometimes it's negative. First responders show up on people's mad days, on their bad days, and sometimes on their glad days. So the reason I believe in being a chaplain and providing mental health, emotional, and spiritual support to our first responders is because they are literally putting their lives on the line every single time they go on shift. Every call they go to is potentially threatening. They have no idea. And so the mental strain of that is taxing the release of cortisol from the brain into the heart, the stress levels. Kevin Gilmartin wrote a book called Emotional Support for First Responders. And he talks about this emotional roller coaster that they ride. And so what chaplains and peer support teams try to do is help first responders maintain some balance of that emotional roller coaster. So there's not as many highs or quite as many lows. And we want to keep them fit for duty. We want to keep them on track so they can retire and get all of their retirement that they can and enjoy a retirement after serving our community during their career.
Yeah. So how can people support you in what you're doing?
Yeah. First of all, pray. Chaplains need prayer, especially when you work with Chaz. Secondly, pray for our first responders. Be kind to them. Turn off Fox News, turn off CNN, get to know first responders. And they can be a little wary of people sometimes. They're trained to be suspicious and objective and look for things, but get to know a first responder. And if you can support them in some way, go ahead and do that. There's a lot of events. Sheriff Balaam does a great job. The Sheriff's Office does a great job being involved in the community, like the parade this past weekend, shopping with a sheriff, donut with a sheriff, all kinds of things.
Veterans Day parade. I mean, you guys have come to our events.
Well, there's tons of stuff. So be kind to a first responder, get to know them, tell them you appreciate them, and thank them for what they do.
Is there opportunities for people to get involved with Washoe County Sheriff's Office somehow, whether it's financial or ride-along or something like that?
Yeah. So our peer support team formed a 501c3 this past year, and we are now able to receive donations. And so if you believe in law enforcement and mental health, chaplaincy, peer support, you can contact our mental health clinician, Wes Easley, and he can get you hooked up with how to give to that 501c3. We are about to receive a large grant, 6-figure grant, which is going to tremendously help our peer support team.
Great, awesome. And then the one-on-one, face-to-face stuff. You're just saying like events or meeting people in person. Is there ride-along and stuff like that? Or
ride-alongs. You'd have to call up there and get the details about that.
Okay.
Chaplains do ride-alongs. We are encouraged to do ride-alongs, but the public, I think, can do ride-alongs. There are some requirements and parameters for that.
Okay.
But call the sheriff's office and just express your interest, and they'll point you in the right direction.
I think that's great.
And just a plug for Washoe County Sheriff's Office. They have one of the largest, actually the largest peer support team in our region, and really set the bar high for being that example. It's really impressive. So they've really helped create and set the tone for that.
Yeah, we are nationally known. We operate regionally and could operate across the state if needed.
Why are you nationally known?
Because we're good. I would say peer support started a long time ago, and when Lieutenant Andy O'Brien took over peer support, she really has a passion and a calling to support law enforcement, first responders, and her team that she's put together do a great job. And we do a lot of training together. We depend on each other, and all kidding aside, we are a pretty good team, and we're known for what we do and why we do it.
Also, if you're a journalist, the sheriff's office is hiring a public information officer, which is an awesome opportunity to be able to really connect with the community. And so that's been posted online. I encourage you to apply for that. And then thank you to Washoe County Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Balin for allowing Chaplain Jim to come here and just speak about the resources.
Should I apply to be a journalist?
Do what you want, my friend.
Yeah, let me give a shout out to one of our
Use him as a
PIOs.
reference, yeah.
That's right.
I don't know that guy or that. No,
Let me give a shout out to Kristen Vietti. She's one of our PIOs right now. She was instrumental in getting me here tonight, and a shout out to Under Sheriff Phil Jones, who also has graciously allowed me to be here tonight and represent the sheriff's office.
That's huge. Well, thank you so much for being here and just sharing with us what you do for the community and how people can get involved with you as well. So what you guys are doing is a great service for sure. Beyond just being a chaplain, I mean, you're really serving the community by doing what you're doing. Truly.
Yeah, I want to plug also our 911 dispatchers for city and county. A lot of times we see officers on the scene, we see fire on the scene, but they don't get to the scene without our emergency dispatchers, and so they often are forgotten, and they often don't get closure for an event because they're on the headset. They hear things, gunshots, screams, sirens, and then they hang up.
Wow.
And so it's been an honor to serve with our dispatchers, and they need support as well.
That'd be scary.
Yeah.
That'd be scary.
I did some recent CISMs with some different dispatchers in different departments, and they were saying exactly what you said.
Yeah.
It's really difficult for them because they don't have that closure. They don't know what happened to that person, and it's a lot of trauma.
Yeah, imagine being on the headset as a call taker and getting a 911 call and somebody confessing, hey, I'm getting ready to kill myself. And you hear that happen, and then there's radio silence. And then dispatchers have to go to the next call.
Yeah.
And so it's a tough job, but there are some amazing people up there, and we're proud of them.
Rob McLaughlin says strong work for sure. So thank you for doing what you do.
Sure. Honor to serve.
But here's the real question. Have you ever been to Tatooine National Park?
I have not been to Tatooine National Park.
It's a Star Wars park.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, he knows. He's a Star Wars fan.
It is.
Tried to get me to lie.
I've been to up in Oregon, the Fern Canyon, and where some of the earlier Star Wars movies were filmed a long time ago.
That's cool.
Very cool.
Cool guy over here.
Dave's favorite character is Jar Jar Binks.
No, absolutely not.
No, probably not.
My favorite movie though is Episode 3. I love.
Oh, that's
Episode 3.
this, right? This is Star
my
Wars.
Goodness. Oh my goodness, buddy.
Just
buddy.
kidding. Just
Oh,
kidding, guys.
goodness.
I'm not a Trekkie.
Outrage.
Re-education for Chaz.
I guess so. So our next, what we're doing next week is what we're going to be doing is we're going to watch all the Star Wars movies live, and I'm going to force Chaz to sit here the entire time, and he has to give honest live feedback the entire time.
That actually sounds kind of fun. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Star Wars fundraiser. That's not a bad idea, actually.
Yeah.
Star Wars movie fundraiser.
You think we'd get in trouble for copyright somehow?
No, we wouldn't. If it's a live stream, we'll talk about it
that would be
off
cool.
camera. We'll talk about it off
That's
camera.
right. Production meeting.
There's definitely ways to do that where it's not illegal or against the rules.
Rob said, "I will watch."
There was a state recently that is giving mental health service for life for dispatchers.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Go Texas.
That's really cool.
They have some great toast. It's called Texas toast.
Yeah, I put my notes thing at the wrong place. Like I can't see
You
the
did.
comments.
Was that a
was a
Monk
bad choice.
and Mindy gesture?
Mork and Mindy.
Mork and Mindy. Oh,
Who is that, Chaz?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know what that means.
Dispatchers, I just remind people about dispatchers. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, somebody's going to answer the phone if you call 911. And so thank you, dispatchers, if any of you are listening right now at the dispatch center.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Definitely a huge service to the community. You're pretty familiar with Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. You're actually signed up for the 620 program, which we really appreciate here. Thank you so much for donating. Without people like you being a part of what we're doing, we would not be able to stay open.
Sure.
That's the reality. So we always encourage everyone on every episode, if you haven't signed up for the 620 program, please sign up. And just because you want to give $20 a month doesn't mean you can't give more or less. You can give as much or as little as you feel led to give. We're all about just supporting the community. We give away over $70,000 worth of clothing every single month, and we serve over 700 people. But those numbers are definitely rising right now, more than I thought. I mean, 118 this last Wednesday is huge.
Can you imagine? I just want to put that into perspective. If you go to Savers or Goodwill and buy $70,000 worth of clothes, that's how much we give away. That's crazy.
Yeah. No, it's huge, and thank you for being a part of the program. We appreciate it.
Glad to be here and part of it.
And we, without people giving to our cause, we would not be able to stay open. So thank you for giving. Thank you for being a part of it. If you want to find out more about us, please visit. Hello, Jim and Dave. Keith Ryan says
What's up,
hi.
Keith?
And so we give a lot of clothing away. And if you want to find out more about our cause and what we're doing, please visit getclothes.org. That's getclothes.org. And you can always hit that donate button and give however much you'd like to give. So we do want to shout out everyone that's just been a part of the program for years. We actually have members now that have been a part for over a year now. So it's huge to see people wanting to be a part of it. And that $20 definitely adds up over time.
Sure.
So definitely a huge blessing. So is there anything you wanted to add, Chaz? Mr. Chaplain over here?
No, I just really appreciate all you do for the community, Jim, and your team. It really makes a difference.
Yeah, it's a huge blessing. It's a calling. It's a privilege. We get called out in the middle of the night, afternoons, mornings, ride-alongs, sit-alongs, all kinds of stuff that we get to do. I want to shout out Sergeant Shaltana Daniel, who works with our sheriff's office and tries to connect with our unhoused or homeless population. I always point her to Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet if she needs clothes for folks that her and her team work with.
I saw her, I believe, at the Resource Center opening at the CARES campus.
Yes,
yeah.
She was there.
Yeah, she's an amazing person.
So let's finish by 2 questions. 1, what color lightsaber would you have if you had one? And 2, what are you thankful for? We'll start with you, Chaz.
Does Chaz know what a lightsaber is?
Is that the thing that goes pew 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 pew? I think I would.
Come on.
I mean, maybe green, because
right.
Luke Skywalker had green.
That's a good answer right there.
Yeah, and he was, even though he messed it up, he was the chosen guy to step up.
Blue lightsabers all day for me. I love Obi-Wan's my favorite character. I actually have a replica of his lightsaber sitting on my mantle.
Let me
have you
guess.
seen
Yes,
that?
I have seen that.
Have I shown
I
you
would
that?
have thought red for you, like Sith.
Whoa! Whoa! Low blow, man.
Hashtag Sith.
Man. But no, I would do blue, and I love Obi-Wan's, and I love that Obi-Wan series, the Kenobi series. I thought it was great on Disney Plus. I enjoyed it. A lot of people didn't like it. I liked it a lot. But I would do a blue lightsaber, and I am very thankful this week for honestly the support we've been getting at Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. That's been huge. And like genuinely, I'm not trying to be cheesy. I'm not trying to plug Good Shepherd in this. Like seriously, Chaz knows a lot of the behind the scenes stuff's going on. Jim knows a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, and we are very blessed. And I'm so thankful for you in the community.
Well, Keith says that's a blaster, Chaz, and then green saber. I know. I'm just giving these guys a hard time. You didn't say what color you wanted.
I didn't. I would go with blue as well. I would try to modify it. I do like Kylo Ren's lightsaber with the 2 horizontal
Oh.
Pieces on there. If I could have a blue one with that, that would be awesome.
You've already thought about this before.
I have.
Of course he has.
I have. Thankful. Thankful for family. Thankful for God's word, and thankful for His calling on my life to serve. Because without Him, I would be on the other side of the bars at Par Boulevard, and not on the side that I'm on right now without Christ.
Yeah.
Wow.
Definitely my faith for me in salvation and grace, and I'm just super thankful for chaplaincy as well, because I've never been closer to God than when serving, and the last 5 years have absolutely changed my life in many ways. So very grateful for that opportunity.
Wow, that's good. Yeah, no, it's a huge blessing. Thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate you being a part of this. Again, make sure to share, like, and follow this. It really does help us.
Wait. What were you thankful for?
I already said
Good
the
Shepherd's
donors.
Clothes Closet.
People.
What else are you thankful for?
What? Man, you're gonna make me do it too.
Me and Jim?
I'm
Easy.
So you're on the board. So I'm thankful for the board of Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet.
I was trying to help you. Like you can say, like your wife, you know.
I've said that like 4 times, and it's always true. Always true. So I got to mix it up a little bit.
Okay.
Got to mix it up a little bit.
Keep it fresh.
Keep it fresh. But this is a deep take. But Ezra Bridger, his lightsaber with the little gun on the end. Have you seen that?
I have not.
Okay, that one's pretty cool. I wouldn't mind a lightsaber that had a gun on it. And then also...
Could be interesting.
Yeah, you could do some really cool stuff as a Jedi, right?
Gun with a detachable lightsaber.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't know.
That would be very cool.
I don't know. So thank you guys so much for listening. Us ramble about Star Wars and the rest of it. Joyce, I am thankful for you, Dave, for your stewardship or leadership at Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. Thank you so much, Joyce.
Wait, who said that? Oh, Joyce.
That's a huge,
That's a huge compliment, yeah.
Thank you. Joyce has been a volunteer here for a very long time, was GM at one time, and is just so faithful. Volunteers every week.
Great article written about her at Our Town Reno and Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. Check that out.
Rob is thankful for Joanne, and his lightsaber would be green. White would be cool too, but white would mean you're a way seeker. So I'm getting way into Star Wars lore right now, but that's the truth. Ahsoka-Tano's way seeker. That's why hers is white. Anyways, this is not a Star Wars podcast. This is a podcast on interesting things in the community and sharing
We'll
things
get
about
some
Good
more
Shepherd's
followers
Clothes Closet.
if it's a Star Wars podcast.
Probably. I mean, people are commenting about it. So
Community Cares Con.
there we go.
To a venue near you.
Dude, my wife, we're doing a costume party thing, and she's like, what are you gonna dress up? And she's like, and I'm like, I'm gonna dress up as a Jedi. She's like, I knew it.
I mean, Jar Jar Binks, brother.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
So, here's some trivia for you. What is the article of clothing that the Sand People and the Jawas wear? What is that called? And where does it come from?
Oh, dude, this is a deep take. I have no clue.
Is it Jabba the Hutt's skin?
It is not. It's actually called a jalaba.
Oh.
And I have one at home from North Africa, which is where those originated from. When the original Star Wars movies were filmed in Northern Africa, they used jalabas for the Sand People and the Jawas.
Oh,
That's so cool.
That is cool.
We're gonna have to go check out Tatooine National Park and see some Sand People.
This
And
is
I'll
the
bring
way.
my jalaba.
Oh, look at that! Look at that!
See, I
look
do
at
like
that!
Star Wars.
Oh, I just give you such a hard time.
Mandalorian.
Hey guys, thank you so much for being a part of what we're doing. We really appreciate it. And Julie, you're thankful for family and a long day. What was that? Did hearts pop
See
up?
like that?
That was weird. Keith Ryan says this is the way. Absolutely. We appreciate all of you. We help over 700 people a month, no matter what. We're asking you to come alongside and help one. We'll see you next week, guys. Thank you so much.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
Adios.